Hi guys, it's me, Pete Smith. Welcome back to another episode of Talks on Walks. Thoughts Create Reality, Part 2.
EQS Self-Express.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talks on Walks. I'm Pete Smith. This is Part 2 in the series, Thoughts Create Reality. And today I'd like to talk about how do we go about looking at our thoughts, the ones that we have. In other words, before we install new ones, or as we install new ones, we have to actually see what we think now and get real with that, get objective with that. Stand back, take a look at, how do I think? How does my mind think? Because guys, you're in control of that. You're responsible for that. Believe it or not. You don't just leave it up to chance. You are responsible for how you think. You are responsible for the thoughts you think. So, how do we get these thoughts? A lot of them, we don't even know they're there at this point. You get to a certain age and you've been through so much and you've seen so much and you've heard so much. You don't even realize that many thoughts that are in your brain that you are acting upon in your life have been put there by someone else or something else. And you've kept them there and allowed them to fester or grow like a garden. And those thoughts just grow and multiply. So if you have a bad thought or a thought that's not helping you, it's not beneficial to you, and you allow it to grow and multiply, now you got a garden full of weeds in your mind. These thoughts are like weeds. They'll choke out the good thoughts, the helpful thoughts. So how do we find out what our thoughts actually are and which ones we'd like to change? Well, first of all, we go about our day beginning to notice what we're thinking. Yeah, it takes a little effort, guys, but it's well worth it. Noticing is just taking the time in the day when you think something, especially if that something is really getting to you, like to your heart, you know? Hang on, guys. Hello. Hi, how you doing? I'm fine, thanks. Just making my little YouTube video.
I see. Good luck with the production value.
Thank you. Have a great hike. So guys, the thoughts that we think, right? These have been placed there, and it is our responsibility. It is our obligation to ourselves to look at those and find out whether those thoughts serve you or hinder you. Again, guys, they're like weeds. If you allow them in there and fester and multiply, they will. And pretty soon you'll be thinking things and you don't even know why you think it. You don't even know that you think it. So the first step is to identify those thoughts that are not beneficial to us, that are not helping us. So it takes a little work. It's noticing. Going throughout your day, and when a thought hits you that's really strong, powerful, has like an emotional attachment, you can stop, take a look at it, and say, what am I thinking right now? Not, is the thought right or wrong? Is it good or bad at this point? The fact that it's working on you in some emotional way is enough for you to say, let me take a step back. I'm thinking a thought that's bothering me. What is it? And you take a step back. Excuse me, guys, I'm really hiking. And this is part of my Talks on Walks. It's the fact that I get out into the woods and get some physical exercise, good oxygen, good bacteria, from the plants and the bugs and the animals and nature's protection. Anyway, you take a step back and you say, what is that thought? Let me just see the thought. In your mind's eye, you look at it and you say, I'm really upset because I think this about this. And it's upsetting me. And when you do that, you'll see the thought. And then you can ask yourself, why? Why do I think that thought? Who has given me that thought? What has given me that thought? Where did that thought come from? And you'll notice where it came from. You'll notice, it came from so-and-so saying this, telling me this. Or this group of people that I associated with believe this, they believe this. And somehow I've taken it on as my own belief. Yet, you might not really believe it. You just accepted it because other people told you it was true. So that thought can now be looked at objectively by you, and you ask, does this thought help me? Or does this thought hurt me in some way? Is it causing me to shut down? Is it causing me to bottle up my feelings? Is it causing me to bottle up my voice? My expression, my free expression? Is this thought my thought? Is this what I really think? Or is this something that's been given to me? And that's how you do it. And little by little, each day, each hour of the day, you will find more and more you are able to monitor your thinking. And many, many times throughout the day, you will see, I'm thinking that thought again. A lot of times it's the same thought or a relative of the same thought. So you begin to monitor what you're thinking. And you really become aware of, wow, I'm really thinking in a certain way. And then after you see it objectively, you can ask yourself, does it benefit me? Is it a good thought for me? Do I really believe that about me, about the world? Okay, I'm going to move on to a second way to identify your thoughts. First one I just went over is noticing. Notice your thoughts throughout the day. Take note. If you'd like, write it down, but I don't find that necessary. I think the more I identify thoughts, the stronger that muscle becomes of thought identification. And quickly I can decide, is that a good thought or a bad thought for me? And why? And then move on to why am I thinking that thought? So the second way is to actually do some writing. Take a little bit of time, guys. Look, it's your life, right? You spend hours and hours a day, perhaps toiling at something that's not helpful, wasting time, wasting a lot of time, maybe, and wondering why you're doing certain things. And it's worth it to take a half hour out of your day today. Do it today, guys. And sit down and write these questions out. What do I think about myself? And just write 5 things. And we're not looking for like good things, okay? We want to get to the nitty-gritty. We want to help ourselves. Good things that we think, keep them. That's fine. But what we want to put down on the paper is things that we feel are holding us back. So what do I think about myself? And you write that down. Sorry, I had to adjust the light there. Got into a dark part of the forest. So, and then number 2, you say, what do I think about other people? Just generally, like, what do I think about other people? Generally, I mean people generally. But get specific with your answer. In other words, I think people are this. I think people are that. And guys, again, stick to the negative stuff, because this is the time we're getting it out, getting the ones that are not serving us, that are not beneficial, getting those out on the table so we can work with those and see if we can improve that thinking, change that thinking. So, what do I think about myself? What do I think about other people? Write down 5 things. I think people are liars. I think people are not trustworthy. I mean, whatever it is, guys. Okay? But don't give it the, I think people are wonderful. I think the world is good. It all depends on how we look at, I'm looking for the true stuff that gets in your way, gets in your cross, so to speak. I think the saying is. Number 3. I think the world is, and again, give 5 things, 5 examples of what you think the world is. And you might even go a little further and say, I think life is. And jot that down, 5 things, what you think life is. And if you really want to go further, say, I think death is. And do that. You getting excited? It's fun, man. And it will change your life. It will change it so quick you won't believe it. Put these things on paper. Take a look at them. Write them down. After you write, don't think too hard, guys. Write whatever comes to your mind. Okay? Don't analyze it. Don't try and make it sound good. Don't try and use good verbiage or sentence syntax. Just write it as quickly and as directly as you possibly can. I think I am. I think other people are. I think the world is. I think life is. I think death is. Okay? Now that's 25 answers. Quick answers. You don't have to write a book, okay? Quick answers, what you think. And usually the ones that are harming you, okay? So, after that, you take a break. Take a break. I like a glass of seltzer, or lately I've been getting into matcha tea. You guys into matcha? Yeah, matcha. Wonderful, wonderful tea. But get the real stuff, And take a break. Maybe come back to it in a couple hours. Maybe tomorrow. I don't care. I mean, it's whatever works for you guys. If you're feeling strong and you want to move right into the next step, you go ahead. But for now, that's going to be a lot of work, and that's going to really benefit you. Because what we're doing is we're figuring out what we think. In essence, it might be also like borderline what you believe. Because our beliefs create our thoughts, okay? So if we say, I believe, blah, 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 that's how we're going to see the world. That's the glasses that we're going to have on our face as we're looking at the world. If I say, I think the world is a dangerous place where you could get killed at any moment. Now I'm walking through the woods now, and I've got these glasses on that tell me the world is a dangerous place where you can be killed at any moment. I hope I don't get killed right now. Big tree falls on me. You think this video would go viral? I don't know. Anyway, I think the world is a dangerous place. I am not going to walk through the woods in the same way, in the same free, loving, healthy, exercising, good, straightforward thinking, clearing my brain. In that way, I'm going to be walking through the woods like this. Danger, 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 danger. My heart's going to be beating, not because of exercise. It's going to be pounding because I'm afraid. My brain is not going to be thinking good, clear, higher level thoughts, creativity, imagination, love, prosperity. No, it's going to be thinking lower thoughts, primitive thoughts. Run. Do I run? Do I stay? Watch out for this. Watch out for that. Could be killed. Could be danger. Snakes. Chipmunks. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. I mean, so that's an example. And it's a small example and it may seem kind of silly, but you multiply that on all the 25 thoughts that you have about yourself and the world and life and death. And you see how your world can be made up, how your behavior can be seriously hampered. Guys, it could be living like with 2 broken legs and a broken arm and a busted up head because you're already hampering yourself with these thoughts that are not serving you. So we need to identify them. We need to question why we have them. And then we need to say, are they good for us? And then we need to say, do I want to keep them? Do I want to change them? And once you start realizing that you have the power, you have the ability, you have the resource, you have the responsibility to yourself to change these thoughts to ones that serve you. And you'll find you don't even know why you had that thought, or you do know why you have that thought. And a lot of times it'll be, when we really get into this, you start remembering things from childhood. Just one little incident. That'll be my next video, how to go back into your childhood. Because guys, there's usually like maybe 3 major incidents that affect our thinking for the rest of our lives. And in affecting our thinking, they're now affecting our behavior. What we're going to do on a daily basis, on a large scale basis, in our life, in the world, in our personal relationships. Everything can be a lot of times brought back to 3 incidents. Maybe a few others that come up in different spots. We can always find more, but I'm telling you guys, there's probably 3 incidents in your childhood. One when you were like 5, one when you were like 7 or 8, and one maybe when you were like adolescent, 13. And each one of those incidents is going to be something that happened. And I don't mean it was some great, crazy, big, life-shattering event. I'm talking about little things, guys. Like somebody told you you were no good at singing. Like you're a little kid, like 5 years old. That one happened to me. Share it with you real quick. I was in 4th grade in Catholic school. I know, Catholic school is, we all can say, oh my God, Catholic. It was helpful in a lot of ways, but this particular instance, I was in church. We were singing. The class was singing in a choir. We had the class was singing a song for something, some event that was coming up. And the nun who was in charge of the class, I was singing my heart out. I love to sing. And I was, and the nun came over to me. She said, Peter, just move your mouth. Just move your mouth. Don't make any sound. And I was like, huh? What? Really? And it destroyed me. Guys, that's why I'm a singer now. It was, now I love it, but it was in order to prove all these years that I could sing, that she was wrong. It would have been much easier to just, see, now I can look back and I know what this did to my thinking about myself. And I thought I wasn't good enough. And I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to let that happen again. That's the feeling. I am not going to let that happen again. And what we do, guys, when something like that happens, now that was not a big deal. To her, to that nun, she would never remember it in a million years. Oh, I told that kid to stop singing. She would never remember it. But to me, guys, that shaped my life in so many ways. Because what I said to myself was, I'm not good enough. And that hurt like hell. And I am never going to let that happen to me again. And how was I never going to let that happen to me again? How? How could I make sure that I did not get hurt like that again? Well, I take that instance, that incident that was so big and so hurtful to me, and what do I do with it? Where do I put it? Do I put it in the past? No, I put it in my future. I will never let that happen again. And now I live with that in my future. I am never going to let that happen again. So anytime any situation arose where there was possibility of being hurt in that way, by putting myself out there, letting people hear my voice, my beautiful singing voice, or just even sometimes to say something that I felt deeply, it was now in my future that I would never let that get hurt like that again. Let myself get hurt like that again. Follow me? So here I was at 40 years old, living into this little incident that happened in the past that I had placed in my future, living into that. Okay? So in order to be free, in order to open up and allow life to happen again, after all those years, I had to take that incident, take it out of the future, see that it happened. Yeah, it hurt. It was horrible. Boom, put it in the past. It's in the past. I looked at it. I identified it. I said, yes, that was one of the incidents that really hurt. And I got rid of, put it in the past. Now I no longer, now in my future is open from that. Open. It's not in my future anymore. I don't have to live fearing that to happen again, or trying to avoid that from happening again. See? So now my future is clear. It's an opening. It's blank. And I can live into it the way that I see fit now at my age, which is only 40. Just kidding. But this was stuff I started learning at 40. So I'm probably going on way too long, but I think you get what I'm talking about, okay? So maybe we'll do a little bit more of that in the next episode. This is part 2 right now on thoughts create reality, or our thoughts create our reality. And guys, I want to help you guys identify these types of things from your past when you were little, just a couple, and complete them, so to speak. Realize that it happened, realize what happened. Like when I look at that incident now, I see a nun who basically, she didn't mean to ruin my life in any way, shape, or form. She didn't mean to hurt me, to scar me. Who would think? Saying one small thing like that to a child. Yet, until I realized that it happened, once I realized that it happened and that was there in my future, in my past that I put in my future, because guys, I'm responsible for my own stuff. That nun has nothing to do with this. Nothing, except that she was in it. She was like part of it, but personally, nothing. And what happened was, a little boy, me, took that incident, and she didn't realize that she was doing that, right? She didn't realize it. And once I could see as an adult that she didn't realize it. It was just something that, who knows why she said it even. She might have wanted to hear little Johnny next to me singing and couldn't hear him whether he was singing. Maybe he was mouthing it. Or maybe I was singing too loud and she couldn't hear the other people. It didn't mean I was singing bad. Or for whatever reason, even if it was because I sounded horrible and she just wanted to shut me up, it doesn't matter. It was just something that happened. And now I realize that. And I don't have to live from the eyes, from the hurt heart of that child. I've dealt with it. I've said, okay, there it was. It happened. Okay, put it in the past. Done. Move on. Life is short, man. You gotta live it. You gotta live it. Don't let this stuff stay in your way. All right? You can do it. You can be all you want to be. And if you're, well, whatever age you are, you can do this. But if you're younger right now, God bless you, man. You can have a heck of a life. Heck of a life. Do whatever you want to do. All right? Okay. That's enough for now. Hey, if you like my videos and you want to look forward to the next part, subscribe to my channel. All right? You just click on that subscribe button. And then there's a little red notification bell. If you want to be notified, oh, Pete Smith's going to post another video. Click that bell. And then YouTube will send you whatever you want, an email. I think they'll send a text message if you want, but saying that Pete Smith's going to put up a new video, or he just has put up a new video, depending on if I make it a premiere. If I make it a premiere, they'll notify you, hey, later on today, tomorrow, Pete Smith's video is going to come out, or they'll just notify you, he just posted a video. So you can do that. And also, if you don't mind, give a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like this stuff. And maybe leave a comment like, hey, Pete, like your stuff. And I only say that because on my YouTube channel, YouTube's search engine really won't include my video unless people have interacted with it. I know, that's how it works. It's just these algorithms. That's the new science, They're finding all these things. They can predict all of our behaviors at this point. But hey, what I'm telling you can mess up those gears and those algorithms, because they don't expect us humans to really go deep and think about this stuff and use our brains and control our own thinking, not let them control your thinking. You are the caretaker of this. You are responsible for this, for your thoughts and your life. No one else. Okay? So, this is Pete Smith saying, thanks for watching. So long. Be safe.